Hello everyone. I'm going to give a speech about urban invasion, and to start with this speech I want to introduce with a story. Okay, many years ago when I was a child, I remember with clarity while I was coming home from Pulawason, there was a forest, a big one. There was no signs or humanity, even were less signs of, you know, urban expansion. But now that forest that were all spread over, that trees, that animals, that a fountain was, now is a thing called urban invasion in the road coming from Quito. So now that we have lost many landscape, I realize how serious problem the urban invasion is. Because I wonder why we devastate such beautiful landscapes to only build houses or make the Quito area bigger. It's like no sense. Uh, you know, old things die, new things come. At least the saying goes like that, but don't make sense when the thing that you are destroying is the nature, your savior, and your life supporter. Uh, I think Ecuador people do urban planification wrong because you know uh, urban invasion are made in not safe places to live. So I mean, you really have to build that house in that slope, in that hill, in that ravine, which is important to the environment of the city to continue being stable, supportive, to not be a chaotic natural disaster to overcome the city. The example is a few months ago in Nagasco, a few months ago in Los Chillos valleys, a few months ago in every ravine, in every draw, or every landscape we manage to convert in what we want, but not the thing that was for nature. The big problem with urban invasion is the legal characteristic of this problem. This issue starts with non-legal business of terrain sold. It's like people don't have their legal acts of property because that areas were protected areas of cities. It's like the skirt of the Rucupichincha mountain. It is a protected area, but people have managed to build illegal houses, putting in danger their lives, our lives, and the infrastructure of the city itself. So, don't mind if people call me rude about this, but Quito citizens will blame the nature to destroy their houses. When they do the wrong thing first. I mean, I have a serious issue with Quito residents' stubbornness about making buildings that they want, they desire, but they are not safe for other ones, even for themselves. Urban invasion only shows that this city and Guayaquil don't have any property plan to grow, and urban invasion in Ecuador means that nature will be devastated, that nature will be destroyed by mankind only to build houses. Cities is a huge monster that only eat and eat. And if we continue giving food in the terms of nature to that greedy monster, we are doomed. Really, really doomed. Urban also do a particular thing that is mixing environment. The urban ecosystems remains unexplored, and with the rapidly and quickly exponential growing of cities, we can control that environmental mix. Uh, it's known that in urban invasions exists a unique socio-economical and environmental characteristics that mix the things that are a city and are not a city. So this exhibits high frequency and rates of nature destruction and exclusion in environmental and socioeconomical issues. Um, the invasive areas in Quito results in a huge impact of quality life. Because that ravine in Lagasca, that ravine in valleys, that draw in Pomaski, these areas was necessary to nature continue the flow of the rivers and many other things that we don't realize because we are only taking what we need but not replacing with the things that they need to have. You know, nature is longer, way older than humans. We are only doing this because we can, but nature do the thing that they had needed and they will need for a long time ago. For time, all cities were forests. We only take that forest away to approach a better quality of life. But this doesn't mean that the cities are a great planet. You know, I understand that many people want their own terrain, their have and own houses, and to improve the life. But is a city like Quito that is poorly planned, and it's obvious that it has dubious origins of lands, like there are people out there fighting to get a manifestation about I have the property of that land, of this land. That doesn't mean anything. People who could have a paper, but the real owner and the ownership of this land is the nature, and we have to respect that nature, that forest, that high and the mountain, that river, that ravine, because they were before and they will be after us. So I have seen uncountable examples of how cities have grown well, like Paris, Tokyo, even in China. Shanghai will change the way that they pollute, they do urban invasion. Do not grow in area, instead grow in height, because in height you may consume the same resources as you grow in area, but you can concentrate the resources, you can make a denser population, and you don't have issues with public transportation if it's a better way to overcome the problems or issues that make jams, traffic stops, things like that. You can also have a better sewage system to not have floods, to not may contaminate or pollute other rivers, other ravines, other water resources, and you may decrease the pollution in light or light pollution with skies in night. Make it, if cities are denser, people will down the urban invasion, and with that we can improve our lives, because the American dream, the way what we think the future will be, is changing, and this change need to be accepted. My last thoughts about how cities eat the environment is that how we can stop urban invasion. The first thing, with good planification, The second thing is with respect to the nature. Nature related to all animals, plants, flora, fauna, everything that is related with the previous environment that was there needs to be respected and protected. It's mandatory to us as citizens to know our past, to change our future. I don't want that this greedy monster called cities devour and devastate all the things surrounding. So we have to make a better consumption on resources, on landscape, on terrains, and even on roads. To stop urban invasion, we need to planify roads, to planify our life, our jobs, and even our policies. Because if you deserve a house, if anyone deserves a house, nature, animals, plants deserve their own house. Because they were the original owners of this land that now you call Kiro City or your home. To end this my speech, I want to say that one day I expect that the buildings and the houses that are now urban invasion on the roads will have been recovered in a few years. That in that winds, in that devastated buildings, in the ruins, a forest will overcome and a new forest will grow. The ruins that once was an urban invasion in the future will be taken by force by nature. And the nature will take that place, the beautiful landscape, return it by force, because people snatch it out without remorse. Thank you. Have a nice day.